So the first lie that Sunny told was that she could argue this and talk about it legally. Bullshit. She cannot. What she said made no damn sense. Number one. Number two, what international law do you mean?
Legal thing. I mean, who voted for this? Who said, hey, yeah, go on in there and do this? Because originally, wasn't it, he was concerned about the drugs coming in and out, and yet he pardoned like a giant kingpin. And so what is this all about?
I can speak to the legal part of it. I think Anna can certainly speak to the geopolitics of it all, but it's not legal to do this. It
tells people why not.
Well, it's not legal because it violates international law, right? And this sort of represents this new, I mean, I've never seen it before, for the president of the United States to kill, I believe he killed over, the U.S. government killed over 100 people, including civilians and military, in Venezuela during this kidnapping and capture. And international law doesn't allow it unless unless Congress declares war, and Congress did not do that. So this country was founded on the premise of the balance of power, right? And so you have checks and balances. So you have co-equal powers co-equal branches of power. So you have the judicial branch, and then you have the executive branch, which the president is a part of, and then you have, of course, the legislative branch, and that's Congress. And they're supposed to check each other. Mm-hmm. This president is doing whatever the heck he wants without any checks or balances. And I have never in my lifetime seen this type of regime change, which is what we just saw, work out well for the United States. It just doesn't work. And in my view, this is completely 100% illegal.
All right. So let's really dissect this. Now, first off, I want to say this. Megyn Kelly came out today on her broadcast and said something sort of on the similar lines. She was, didn't, of course, poo-poo on it like they did, but she was not super excited about this removal of Maduro. Okay. So there have been, it's mostly on the right, it's been people where, we were happy like we are, we don't have an issue with it, but there have been some like Candace Owens, like Megyn Kelly, like Tucker Carlson, who have sort of have not been so happy about this. But so I want to say that first. Secondly, I want to talk about the illegality of this. So where was Sonny when Obama and Hillary Clinton attacked Libya's capital and military sites to achieve regime change without any authorization from Congress? She was silent when Obama vaporized an American under his kill list policy without even a criminal charge. So this outrage right now is just ridiculous. I want to get your thoughts on this, Nicole. What are your thoughts?
She's wrong as per usual. I don't even know who's going to hand her the blue card and make her correct herself, because that's what's coming. Some producer is somewhere writing a card trying to get her to correct what she said that was wrong. He has ultimate authority to do this. He's not a part of the executive branch. Honey, he is the executive. There is none higher. This is as high as it gets here. He is the chief executive officer of the United States. He is the commander in chief of our military. There is absolutely checks and balances. Absolutely. Congress can get their panties in a bunch. They sure can. The judiciary can get their panties in a bunch. Sure can. But none of them are commander in chief. None of them. And there's a reason why the executive is the commander in chief, because sometimes we don't need to declare war against another nation. Sometimes we just need to slap them around a little bit so they know that we mean business with them. And every president has had quote unquote skirmishes, quote unquote military activities. If the American people knew the things that our government has done to keep us safe, everybody would be like, wow. Mind blown. Every single president has done what they had to do. So when you go to bed at night and tuck yourself in real tight, you wake up the next day, you're not marching in the Red Chinese Army. You're not in North Korea, eating sand for dinner. That's not what happens. You go to sleep in the greatest nation in the world. You wake up in the greatest nation in the world. And sometimes you got to kick a little ass to make sure that happens. And that is how the United States has traditionally worked. And there's no reason to change it. Again, what Trump is doing is ensuring America's future. This is such, when she says she doesn't understand, I get it, because it's, her logic doesn't work that way. But this is the logical thing. We change the culture. We bring America back to God. We bring our young people back to God. And while we're doing that, we bring everybody else around us to heal. And we let the rest of the world know that we're not here to play these games. We're not going to do this anymore. China may not encroach on us. Russia better sit down somewhere. These people who are running drugs into our nation, keep playing, Mexico. Keep playing. You're going to be California again. You're going to be Texas again. Keep playing with him. He's dead ass. And it's about time people took it seriously. I know it hurts their liberal hearts to see America winning, but I'm okay with that. She can cry herself to sleep here in the greatest nation the world has ever known. And she can wake up tomorrow in the greatest nation this world has ever known, because these presidents will do what it takes to defend this nation.
So the first lie that Sunny told was that she could argue this and talk about it legally. Bullshit. She cannot. What she said made no damn sense. Number one. Number two, what international law? Do you mean the international law by the International Criminal Court that can't really get its mind together around moral issues and what issues should be legal or not, where they want to go out and put out subpoenas on world leaders like Benjamin Netanyahu just because they don't like him? Bullshit, Sonny. That's number two. Number three, again, I'm going to say it again. The UN, what law? They are feckless. As a matter of fact, they have allowed Maduro to cause all the harm and mayhem for 25 years. So I guess you're going to go with that law. Sonny, go sit down like that lady told you in the beginning. Sit down, because you're in the wrong court, okay? Put your law license in the closet, in the frame, because you're not using it well. Get your money back from that school, or maybe you should get a school back money because you just wasted their damn time. So that's that. Also, now, again, as I said earlier, I am all supportive for President Trump, certainly for our military, but long term, we have not had a good record of nation building. So I split it between short term right now and long term. We do need to have a plan. I want Venezuela to be rebuilt, because I don't want us to have to go in to have our troops there for 5, 10, 15 years, embedded on some kind of demarcation line, so to speak. I don't want that. But I do want the oil that is ours and any other resources that belongs to us. And I want it to be known that we dominate the Western Hemisphere. I ain't making no shame about it. I want President Trump to shout that loud and clear. Well, I think he's doing so. Number three, when we have the nation building, as I was saying, we need to have Venezuela, Colombia, Mexico, all these surrounding countries, as President Trump is warning them to get their act together. This is more than just oil. It is primarily oil, in my opinion, but it's more than that long term. Venezuela is not going to go down as some, third world country, because it's in our hemisphere. And that's the point that President Trump is trying to do. The Sunnis of the world, you will still benefit. You know why? Because all of the oil that is going to take to make all of your jewelry and your leather and your furnishings, you need that oil too. You need that to heat that house, that mansion you got, and you might need those petrol dollars to help keep your husband out of jail when he has to go face his criminal charges. So this honey, Sonny, sit down. You cannot argue it. You don't know what you're talking about. International law for the U.S. We are a sovereign country. So to the international law, fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, for somebody named Sonny, this woman never celebrates wins for the United States, at least a win caused by President Trump. But again, this was a lawful operation. The immediate purpose and result of the operation was to capture Maduro, bring him to face his indictment in New York City. She didn't say anything about that. He is under indictment. He was, as you mentioned, Nicole, there was a price on his head. Okay.
Absolutely.
And guess what else? This is Noriega 2.0. This Maduro operation is going to be justified as lawful as executing the criminal warrant and responding to an international drug cartel, a very similar legal framework to the one that we used against Noriega. And so that set precedent. And so what, I don't know what she was talking about there. But
Yeah.
Jonathan Turley, for you guys who know, he's a strong legal mind. He had a very a good article on Fox today. He said, and I quote, "The courts have previously upheld the authority of presidents to seize individuals abroad, including the purported heads of state. This case is actually stronger in many respects than the one involving Noriega. Maduro will now make the same failed arguments that Noriega raised. Presidents have engaged in such policies for years. The aftermath of the operation is distinct from its immediate purpose. Trump can argue that, absent countervailing action from Congress, he has the authority under Article 2 of the Constitution to lay the foundation for a constitutional and economic revival in Venezuela."
There you go.
All right.
There you go. I'm sorry, Kenji, I forgot one thing. I'm sorry. I meant to mention this. I lost my train of thought. I looked at my notes. The War Powers Act. That's what I wanted to say. The War Powers Act. Also, it's so broad. And again, there may be some legal challenges, whatever, but the War Powers Act gives our president 60 to 90 days, even after an operation, if you will, to talk to Congress. So they're still well within, it's only 2 days ago. They are well within the powers of the War Powers Act, which again, if you want to blame anybody, blame Congress for it's so broad. The war is so broad, which allows this. So go to Congress again, which I've said many times, our Congress is so weak and they just don't get it together. But President Trump and this military operation were well within their rights and their authority to do so.
Yeah. Well, listen, the Gang of Eight has been notified. They were notified shortly after the operation began, and that is the executive's notification to Congress. Absolutely. It doesn't require the executive to call every single member of Congress. He contacts the Gang of Eight. These are the leaders of both parties and the Intelligence Committee, and tell them what happened. Now, it's up to them to go ahead and spread the news amongst their rank and file members, but they have followed the law, tick by tick by tick by tick. Absolutely. Everything has been done in a line. And again, I know people think that you know, the administration doesn't have a game plan. Of course they have a game plan. And what you're seeing is this game plan that would normally take here in the United States 20, 30 years to kind of roll out. They're rolling it out inside of what's going to be 3 years. Because truth be told, what's going to stop them? What's going to stop them? We have to change the culture and secure the homeland. And that is what he's doing. And he's doing it at a rapid rate. And Democrats feel some kind of way because every day it's something new. They don't know what to look at. They don't know how to take it on. It's like you have one little butter knife and you're fighting an octopus. I mean, no matter what you do, it's coming for you. And I get that feeling of being overwhelmed. I'm a Republican in Maryland, so I get what that feels like, that everywhere they're pinching you and poking you and prodding you. But this is the game. You guys played stupid games. You had Joe Biden, didn't know what day it is, what his name is, auto pinning everything. You had to know that pendulum was going to swing back the other way. They had to know that. And so here we sit. America is changing in front of their eyes, and they don't like it. And that's what we get, squawking and crying.
Well, and